Testing one, two. Testing one, two. I hope you guys can hear me. Please excuse the background noise. I'm in a public business area. There's a lot of there are a lot of CEOs in the room. So yes, I attend a lot of these functions. It's really great to network with people. Right now, here's what we've been working on. With the release of the Univah Film Engine, we have, of course, because it is the Learner's Edition, we have been working with trying to get it in the universities here in Houston. And so we've already linked up with two CEOs who are really interested in Univah, and they are basically working on connecting us with several universities here in Houston. And so hopefully by next week, within the next 1 or 2 weeks, we should be seeing very massive adoption in some of the universities here in Houston. So that's going to be really awesome. I'll keep you guys updated about that. So let's go ahead and discuss what it is that we actually do here at this company. So we are a software company. And I want to make sure that that's clear. We are a software company. So what that means is that we don't just make software for ourselves. We make software for other people. So if you like what you see with Univah Pro, and you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I had my own software for my own studio that we could use in-house. I just don't know how to get started. Well, that's what we do. You can contact us. Go to smsoftwarecompany.com. And if you read the very first page, if you read the information at the bottom where it says Enterprise Solutions, what we do is we make websites, we make softwares from start to finish. We do the entire process for you so you don't have to lift a finger. All you have to make sure you have is the funding, make sure you have the resources to actually pay for the software. Making software of this level, of this caliber, is not cheap. So, 1 second. All right, so you have to make sure that you calculate the cost. It's super important. You don't want to be a builder that starts building a house only to realize halfway you don't have the money to finish. So, super important that you calculate the cost, do your research, understand how much it costs to build something on this level, so that when you come to us, you already have an idea of what we should be charging you. We don't want a situation where you come to us and you're like, oh my God, you didn't expect that it would cost that much. Well, you need to do your research so you know how much this stuff costs, okay? All right, so please come prepared. Don't expect us to convince you of our worth. You need to already know what this is worth so that you are prepared to pay for it. And we will create your own software for your company, for your studio, and you can sell that software. You can use it in-house. It can be something that you use just in-house for your studio, your proprietary tool. Whatever we build for you is 100% yours, and you can use it, sell it, do whatever you want with it. So we will do the entire process for you. That's from doing the R&D. That's our job. We will do the R&D. We will do all the research. We will get everything prepared for you. If you want the software built in a specific programming language, we will make sure that that happens. However, of course, we do recommend C++ when you're building computer graphics heavy simulations and anything to do with this kind of work. You really want to go with C++. However, I do understand some of you prefer Python. So if you prefer Python, we can build you a complete Python software. It really just depends on you. As a customer, we just want to make sure that you're happy, okay? So that's what we do. That's our software service, which is the bespoke software service for companies, okay? Now, if you have any questions as far as the process, what it takes, we do charge a $250 consultation fee. So what this means is we will not spend 1 hour to 2 hours talking to you about your idea, because we've done that before and people have wasted our time, and we don't want people just coming to us to talk to us about all their lofty pipe dreams, but then you can't pay for it. So Unfortunately, sorry, not to seem rude or anything, but we have a lot to do. We're very busy. And if we're going to take 1 to 2 hours talking to you about a software you claim you want to build, but then you can't pay the $250 consultation fee, that's a red flag for us. Because if you can't pay $250 for a consultation where we spend our time listening to you and taking notes on what we can do to help you, if you can't pay for that, then how are you going to pay for a $250,000 software or a $1 million software? If you want to build something like this, you need to be prepared to spend millions. So if you can't pay 250, if you're crying and complaining about that, sorry, but you're not serious, and we're not going to spend time listening to you or your ideas. So please, you need to understand when you're operating at this level, you need to be prepared because this is not a game. It's not a joke. It's serious. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and do some fun things in religion. I think I'm going to attach this cube as a procedural object along this tree. Okay, let's do that real quick. Uh, yeah, where's the tree? Tree is here. Oh, okay, we can use this tree then. Let's use this tree. Let's attach this cube to this tree. Let's select the cube, go to our parameters, and we are going to make it a little bit smaller. Yeah, gonna make it a little bit smaller. Okay, awesome. Okay, and we're going to now attach it to this tree. And we're going to use religion for that, of course. Let's click on object distribution. And we are going to pick a mesh. And we're going to click on this one. If it still says picking mesh, don't worry. Just try again. So let's try that again. And let's pick a mesh. Okay, great. So now it is connected to this mesh. If you don't see it, don't worry. Let's see. You should be able to see it, but let's see. All right, let's try it on something simple first to make sure it does work. Disconnect from that. Okay, so it is working. It is working. Um, for whatever reason, it's not attaching to this object. I don't know why. Okay, so let's disconnect it from the sphere. I'm going to disconnect it. And let's see. I'm going to try to attach it to other things. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so as you can see, it is attaching. So it did attach. Some meshes, if you have this issue, some meshes are just, for whatever reason, not compatible. I don't know what it is because it attached to the bicycle just fine. So that's something that we will take a look at to see what are the meshes that are like difficult to attach to. Right, because now we can flood this with we can basically build the bicycle out of cubes. Okay, and once the bicycle is built out of cubes, you can hide the bicycle itself. And so now it looks like he's riding this like bicycle cube, which is fun because now you can do stuff like this. Now you can add an effector. we can say add random. And so now we have a random effector added to this bicycle. Uh, yeah, so that's why this is such a good thing to be able to do. This is such a powerful feature because it allows you to basically you can build a person out of cubes or out of spheres, and then you can use these effects on that and you can control it now using a fall off. So if I go now and add a fall off, I'm just going to add a standalone fall off. Let's just add a standalone. Okay. So if we add now a standalone fall off, okay, this is very big, so I'm just going to, yeah. So as you can see, this is now really interesting because we can animate this bicycle being built procedurally. Okay. So Univah Pro is really awesome. Oh, so this is really cool because now we have this cube bicycle and we can basically say, okay, now it exists, now it does not. And all we have to do is just go through the timeline, add a keyframe, and then animate that really cool effects saying, okay, now it exists and now it does not. And then just play that back. And let's go ahead and make this loop. There we go. So just like that, you've created a really cool motion graphics effect, even though you may not know anything about motion graphics. So this is the power of Univah Pro. It gives anybody the ability to make Hollywood level effects. And of course, if you really wanted to make this look like a bicycle, all you would do is just, lower the decrease the size of the cubes so that they're so tiny that you can now really make a detailed looking bicycle that disappears and appears, or, you can add all these different behaviors and make it do just about whatever you need. So just like that, we have added a fall off. And I wanted to show you this because if you ever have a problem attaching your objects to something else, I don't want you to like be discouraged and think that this doesn't work. As you saw me do this for you in real time, it does work. It's just that depending on the mesh or, you know, I don't really know why it didn't work with this because we've attached this to much more complex objects. I think the bicycle is more complex than this tree. So I don't know why the tree didn't work. But that's 3D for you. Okay, that's life. Sometimes you just have to be prepared to do things a different way. Okay. All right. So now with this working, we can hide this. You see how clean the UI, just everything is just so clean. Okay. So now we can go back now and in the materials, I'm just going to push pause and I'm going to use the global play button to play everything. Okay. When we use the global play button, the reason this is so powerful is because now I don't have to have this selected in order to play its animation. I can click on anything else and that animation will continue to play. Whereas if you are in the timeline, if you're playing from the timeline, it will only play what is selected. Okay? So when I'm ready to really harness the power of Univah, I use the global play. And then now we can come here and say, okay, what does this look like as a wireframe? It looks like that. Animation is still playing. Great. What does this look like in PBR? It looks like that. Okay, animation is still playing. And while this animation is playing, we can now come here and we can change whatever we want about the look of this, make it more realistic. We can say, okay, I want this sphere to be PBR, but I want it to be metallic. So now we make this sphere metallic, all while this is playing. So we have complete control now. We can change things in real time while the animation's playing because we're using our global play. And so each cube now, we can come here and we can say, okay, can we make these cubes metallic? Can we make them, can we add textures? Can we add colors? What can we do with these cubes, right? So we can maybe add a gradient. Let's see if we can add a gradient in real time. Do I have, oh, whoops. I added it to the sphere. So yeah, the gradient is now added to the sphere. That's fine. I wanted to add it to the cube. I forgot to select the cube. So let's select the cube and let's try that again. Okay, so now we have this cool gradient that is now added and we can just double click here, double click to add more colors, more gradients, and we can change it how this works. Okay, and if you don't want it anymore, just clear that gradient. You can just use a basic color. Okay. All right, so that's really fun. And with the cube selected, we can go back to religion and we can look at our effectors. We can apply that random effector and look at that. So now we have that random effect, which is randomizing the cubes, and we can change that now while the animation is playing. Wow. So we can change how this random works. You see how we've changed things on the fly. It doesn't even look like a bicycle anymore because we have this random effector that is just doing so much to it. And because we don't have our fall off right now is not connected to the random, it's connected to the transform. So we can actually say, okay, turn off this fall off. I don't want this fall off. I want to connect a fall off to the random. And now we're going to have another fall off. As you can see, we have now another fall off, which is going to be connected to the random. So let's click that fall off. You see, now we have this fall off effector that is connected to the random, and it is controlling the random effect. And because we have disabled the animation for this fall off, it is not working because we have disabled that fall off. So here we are with this gigantic fall off effector, which is connected to the random, and we can scale this down. So this is how you can animate two fall offs at the same time. Okay, so that's really exciting. And we can go back now to our material and we can continue saying, okay, how does this look in different rendering styles? Let's see, we have PBR. Let's go to black and white and let's see how this looks with black and white. Okay, great. So let's click our cube and let's click this fall off and let's make a black and white movie. So we can make this awesome animated black and white movie, which is super easy to render. You just go to render when you're ready to render it in 6K or 4K or 10K or 12K, whatever K, it's all here. Okay, so awesome. That's really cool. And you can control this. Everything in Univah you can control. So we don't just give you LUTs. A lot of softwares, they just give you like effects and they give you LUTs. But you can't control it. So we don't give you LUTs. We give you things that you can control. All right, so let's turn that off. Let's go to Sketch, go back to Sketch, which is my favorite rendering style. I love Sketch. I do everything in Sketch. So here we are. And again, same deal. We can go here. We can say, okay, let's add some fog. Let's add some fog. Okay, so that's cool. We can control the fog. We can change the color of the fog. Change the color of the fog. Looks like what the fog is going on. Okay, so we can do that. We can do bloom. We can do black and white, which you've already seen, which is awesome. It looks amazing in Sketch. Awesome. So you can get really interesting results here. Press the escape key to go full screen, and you can work in full screen. Okay. And guys, this is what we can do for your company. Okay. If you have a game studio, if you are a rendering studio, 3D animation company, and you've always wanted to have your own software so you can have complete control over your own tool, something that you own, which is going to be your IP. If you've ever wanted that for yourself, but you weren't able to find anybody who could build it for you, we can build it for you. This is us showing you that, we're not just making promises we can't keep. We've created a product that makes money. This product is out there. You can buy it. You can use it. You can test it. Please never just take our word for things. You can always just test the product for yourself, and you can see that it does work. And it's production ready. It's not a toy. It's not a pipe dream. It's not an idea. It's not a prototype. It's a ready-made product that can make you money right now. You can start using Univah to make money with it right now. You can use it to make an animation for your client right now. So it's ready. It's good to go. Univah Pro is still in development. Univah Lite is ready for you guys to use it. And we thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, just go to smsoftwarecompany.com. We would love to hear from you. Okay, thank you. Let's click here. I think I've answered all the questions. Don't forget that when you are in Sketch, to change the Sketch look, you click on Sketch. And this is how you change the look for Sketch and only for Sketch. When you are in PBR, you go to PBR and you can change the look of PBR with these settings. Okay? So we want to make sure that you guys understand what you see here. This is global. These are global settings. It makes life much easier for you to say, hey, I want to see how everything looks with this roughness. It changes the roughness of everything. But if you want per object, so once you change the roughness or when you change these values for everything in the scene, okay, but you want just this guy to be different, then you would go here. First, you select the guy. Okay, let's select the guy. With him selected, you go to the attribute editor, and you want to click on something called per object styling. This is going to override whatever you've done globally. So all of this is global. It makes it so much easier for you to just do everything all at once. And then here, this is where you go now and say, all right, I want to change things one by one, just for this guy. I want this guy to be different, so we're going to make him different. You see that? Now he's different, and we're going to make him not shiny. We don't want him to be shiny. We want everything else to be shiny except him. He will not be shiny, so he's not shiny anymore. Okay? So that's what this does. When you combine this and this, you get incredible power, and you don't ever have to touch a node graph. In any other software like Blender, Maya, Houdini, you would have to go and do like a very complex node graph setup to do what I just did in 2 seconds. With just 2 UI panels, what I just did in seconds. In any other tool, it's a complete node graph setup. You would have to connect a bunch of wires. You would have to become an electrician and understand wiring just to use their tool. Here it's really simple. So here it's per object, here it's global. Okay? Alrighty. Thank you.